Imagine being woken up by a voice, not merely a physical awakening, but a spiritual awakening. That is the voice that calls us, for example, during the days of awe, Yamim Noraim. And I want to suggest to you today that it is also the voice of 3 days on the Jewish calendar that perhaps many of us do not yet recognize as a modern day awakening. They are Yom HaShoah, the Holocaust Remembrance Day, that's this evening, Yom HaZikaron, Memorial Day, and Israel's Yom Ha'atzmaut, Independence Day. These are the modern days of awe, a descent into the darkest memory in Jewish history, and a rising against every rational expectation, a rising into light from the darkness. And this year, these days arrive at the close of 40 days that the Jewish people will not soon forget. Our tradition has a name for the voice that breaks through at moments of moral urgency, existential realities, existential threats, mortality. The rabbis call it the Bat Kol, the daughter of a voice. It does not announce itself with fanfare, but once you've heard it, you cannot pretend you have not heard it. We hear it after Cain kills Abel in the book of Bereshit in Genesis, and God does not announce a verdict. Rather, God asks a simple question, Me asita? What have you done? That same voice stops Avraham Avinu, Abraham, our patriarch, and his hand as it rises above Isaac in Akedat Yitzchak. And it is the voice that speaks to Moses from a burning bush that refuses to be consumed. And the Talmud teaches that in our era, the post-biblical era, that Bat Kol, that voice continues. It speaks through the events of history itself, if we have the ears to hear it. The spring calendar is a Bat Kol. Yom HaShoah, Yom HaZikaron, Yom Ha'atzmaut, Holocaust Remembrance Day, Memorial Day, and Israel's Independence Day. These days are placed in a deliberate sequence. It's the Jewish people's annual encounter with the same urgent questions. Me asita, what have you done? Or what are you doing? And what will you do? Most Jews know the traditional days of awe, the 10 days from Rosh Hashanah, the Jewish New Year, to Yom Kippur, days of descent into honest reckoning, self-reflection, and then the return. The spring sequence has exactly the same shape. Yom HaShoah, the day, the Holocaust Remembrance Day, descends into the nadir, the attempt to erase us from history. 6 million of our people murdered, practically annihilated. The chain of Jewish memory nearly severed. Yom HaZikaron, Israel's Memorial Day, is that reckoning, the holding of the price of what it takes. Every soldier, every civilian, the siren stops, the entire country stands, and the names are read aloud. And then, of course, Yom HaZikaron, Israel's Independence Day, is the rising, the joy that is real, precisely because the cost was so real. A people that looked at everything that tried to destroy it and said, Hineni, we are still here. We are still building. Destruction, memory, rebirth. The shape is the same as it is in the traditional Yamim Noraim, the days of awe. The voice is the same, but what has changed is the historical material that we are working with, the framework through which we experience these days. And this year, something unprecedented frames the season, a 40-day campaign launched just around February 28th, concluding April 8th, in which the Jewish state Israel confronted the regime that has called for its elimination for decades. The campaign ended at the precise threshold of these days. 40 in our tradition is the number of transformation. The Maharal of Prague teaches that 40 always means cataclysmic change and new creation. The letter Mem in Hebrew is the womb, the creation, the recreation, the hidden thing gestating before it is born. Noah's 40 days in the flood, Moses' 40 days at Sinai, the 40 years in wilderness. Every time a world ends and a new one begins. Throughout this journey of transformation, the 40 completed itself and delivered us directly into these modern days of awe. And that is no coincidence. That is quite literal. The Zohar, Jewish mysticism, teaches a concept that I think is key to this season. It'aruta diletata, that is, an arousal from below. Divine mercy does not descend automatically. It is activated by human initiative, human intervention. When we arise in the darkness and turn upward with intention, we catalyze the corresponding movement from above, from the heavens. What happens here below shapes what happens above. And these 3 days are the Jewish people's, Am Yisrael's annual practice of arousal from below. Yom HaShoah, speaking the names of those who fell in defense of our existence, refusing to forget. Well, that is an arousal from below. Yom HaZikaron, Israel's independence, Israel's Memorial Day, stopping mid-motion to hold the fallen, is an arousal from below. And Yom Ha'atzmaut, Israel's Independence Day, choosing joy, choosing building, choosing creation, choosing life. Well, that is that fullest expression of it. But the Zohar's teaching has a precondition, that it must come from us. We must initiate. And Moses Maimonides, the Rambam, who teaches in his Guide to the Perplexed, Moreh Nevuchim, Reshut lechol adam netuna. The choice is given to every person. We have a choice in the matter. We choose how we react, what we do with the life we are given, with the time we have down here in the world of below. The 40, that transformative period, does its work. The season, well, that will arrive. The calendar continues to move forward. And the Bat Kol, that voice, it calls upon us. But what we do with it, that is always our answer to give. And here in the thing, and here is that thing about Yom Ha'atzmaut, Israel's Independence Day, that I don't want us to take for granted. You see, the Baal Shem Tov, the founder of modern Chassidut, taught that in the days of awe we should be approached not with fear, but with love, as the beloved calling to the beloved. The state of Israel in this modern time is that love that made it concrete, made it real, made it physical. Built from our grief, built from the 2,000-year-old exile and the challenges we faced, defended by our ancestors, our children, those who came before us, and to this day, celebrating its existence while fully holding on to that price. That is active hope. Not the hope that waits for better circumstances to arrive, but the hope that builds them. 3 practices that I would like to suggest for these 3 days, one for each. From Yom HaShoah, for the Holocaust Remembrance Day that is beginning this evening and tomorrow, speak one name aloud. A person taken in the Holocaust, in the Shoah. Say it in a room, even if you are alone. Let their life enter the space, the air of your present. For Yom HaZikaron, for Israel's Memorial Day, stop when the siren blasts. Wherever you are in the world, set an alarm if you need to. It's just 2 minutes of a pause. And become that arising, the arousal from below, meaning that we choose to stop too. The fallen belong to all of us. And for Yom Ha'atzmaut, Israel's independence, they do one thing that expresses joy in the existence of the Jewish state, not despite its complexity, because it exists. But maybe you sing a song, maybe you call a friend in Israel, put up a flag, do something that lets your body say what your soul already knows. You see, the voice that called to Cain is the same voice that calls to us now. It called Abraham, Avraham Avinu, toward an unknown land. It called Moses from a burning bush. It called the survivors of the Shoah, the Holocaust, to choose life, to build impossibly and move forward towards sovereignty. It called soldiers to defend it, and it calls our generation, all of us, in the full knowledge of that cost, to keep building, to continue to choose life and safeguard our sovereignty. The 40 days ended for now, and the season is upon us. And the question the Bat Kol, that voice from above, has always asked is the same question that I want to ask us all here. What kind of ancestors will we be? You see, our ancestors heard the voice and responded with their lives, their decisions, the children they raised, and the world they refused to stop building. This is the time. This is the invitation to answer that question. What will the future say about us? What will future generations, our children and grandchildren, say about the decisions we made? Well, I believe that we have already made that decision. Because Am Yisrael Chai is not just a slogan, it is a way of life. And during these times, these challenging times, we stand together despite political differences or views on how things need to pan out. Because at the end of the day, we are one. And that is my hope for all of us, that we may keep that in mind and not forget from where we have come. I'm Rabbi Leor Sinai here at the Anchors of Hope, sending love and light to everyone out there around the world. Till next time, Am Yisrael Chai.